Yes, students, we have done the tick the correct answers, fill in the blanks, match the column, true and false. Now we are going to do the question answers. So first question, why was the first battle of Panipat fought? What were its results? So please write the answer. The first battle of Panipat was fought between Babur and the Lodi Empire. The first battle of Panipat was fought between Babur and the Lodi Empire to get the throne of Delhi. To get the throne of Delhi. This is the first part. What were its results? The result of the battle of Panipat, the results of the battle of Panipat was that it marked the beginning of the Mughal Empire. The result of the battle of Panipat was that it marked the beginning of the Mughal Empire. Question number 2. What were the reasons for Babur's victory in the first battle of Panipat? You can come to this page. Number 1. The reasons as follows from the question. The reasons as follows. First point, Babur had used artilleries which was unknown to the Indians. First point. Second point, his army was better trained. His army was better trained. Third point, his cavalry was far superior. Third point, his cavalry was far superior. 3 points for this answer. Question number 3. What difficulties did Humayun face in the beginning? So I have written the answer here only. You can write down the difficulties which Humayun faced in the beginning was, number 1, he had to face political instability because the vast empire was not consolidated. First point, he had to face political instability because the vast empire was not consolidated. Second point, empty treasury or treasure. Empty treasure means lack of money. Third, troublesome relatives. Troublesome relatives. As I already explained you that his own brothers, they were not ready to cooperate with him. Troublesome relatives. This is the first part of this question. Then, when and how did Humayun reconquered India? In 1555 CE. Just see the top there. I have written the answer. In 1555 CE. When? In 1555 CE and how? Sher Shah died. Sher Shah died and his successors were weak and inefficient. In 1555 CE, Humayun reconquered India because Sher Shah died and his successors were weak and inefficient. Weak and inefficient. His successors, they were weak and inefficient. His successors, they were weak and inefficient. So why, the last question, why is the Sher Shah known as the good administrator? So you can write down the answer from here. The first point you can write down. He introduced many reforms. First point, Sher Shah is called the good administrator due to the following reasons. Number 1, he introduced many reforms. Sher Shah is known as a good administrator because, number 1, he introduced many reforms. Number 2, from here, Sher Shah divided his empire into 47 provinces. Second point, each sarkar was divided into districts. Third point, Fourth point, a pargana comprised several villages. Or even if you will write, Sher Shah divided his empire into 47 sarkars. Each sarkar was divided into parganas, and parganas comprised several villages. This way also you can write down. I am repeating again. Second point, Sher Shah divided his empire into 47 sarkars. Third point, each sarkar was divided into parganas. Fourth point, a pargana comprised several villages. Fifth point, each sarkar was under the charge of Sikadar Sikadaran and Munsif Munsifan. And sixth point, the pargana was under the charge of Shikhadar and Munsif. Shikhadar and Munsif. These are the 6 points. Now the next, it is give reasons. Sher Khan was able to strengthen his position in Bengal and Bihar because Sher Khan took advantage of Humayun's presence in Gujarat and Sher Khan took advantage of Humayun's presence in Gujarat and strengthened his position in Bengal and Bihar. Clear? Next, Farid Khan came to be known as Sher Khan. He is known as the Sher Khan because he killed a tiger single-handedly and came to be known as Sher Khan because he killed a tiger single-handedly. He is called Sher Khan because he killed a tiger single-handedly. Picture study. Identify the picture. It is a tomb of Sher Shah Suri. It is in Sarsaram, which is in Bihar. And who built it? Sher Shah himself built his tomb. Sher Shah himself built his tomb. Now children, we have done the question answers, and I think one video you got from where I started from Humayun, and then another video you got from where I started from Sher Shah. But 2 pages of this chapter number 7, I'm talking about chapter number 7. These are the question answers of chapter number 7 which we have done. So chapter number 7, the first and second page of this chapter was not sent to you. So just I'm going to repeat again this chapter, that when these sultans, they had been, their powers day by day it was reduced, and many independent kingdoms they spread all over India. So it was very difficult that day by day the rulers, they were becoming independent. Therefore Daulat Khan, who was the governor of Punjab that time, and he was the Ibrahim uncle also, he invited Babur to India, who was the king of Kabul. And why he invited Babur? To invade India. Jahiruddin Muhammad Babur, he was born in 1483, and he was related to Tamur from his father's side and Chinggis Khan from his mother's side. So he was very talented, very efficient, and he was very much proud of his ancestors. So he was only 11 years old when he inherited Fargana, and he was 14 years old when he conquered Samarkand. But no doubt afterwards these 2 places, they were taken from him. Though he was very ambitious person, and no doubt due to his ambition and due to his talent, he was able to show that talent also by founding the Mughal Empire in India. So Babur came to the throne, to the Delhi, after defeating the Ibrahim Lodi in the first battle of Panipat, which was in 1526. First battle of Panipat was fought between Babur and Ibrahim Lodi, and after this you can say war battle, the army of the Lodi Empire was totally rooted out. And though the Mughals, they were very efficient, very superior, they destroyed the powers of the sultans, and therefore they were able to establish the Mughal empire in India. So there are so many reasons behind this. I've already explained you in the answer also, which I gave you, that he has a good artilleries, then a better trained army and calabrese was there, and due to all these efficiencies he became the emperor of Hindustan. Then there is another battle of Kanwa, which took place in 1527. Rana Sanga of Mewar, he was a leader of the Rajput. He marched towards Agra with a large army consisting of Rajputs and Afghan. So no doubt that the Mughal army met at Rajputs at Kanwa, and though Rajputs, they were very brave, but they were rooted out because they were lacking the weapons, artilleries, cavalries, etc. Then another battle took place in 1528, which was called the Battle of Chanderi. And though Rajputs, they were not Mughals, they were not able to crush them. So again, Babur marched against Chanderi with a stronghold. But again, Rajputs, they were not able to do anything because the fort of Chanderi was taken by the Mughals. Then another battle it was fought between was the Battle of Ghagra, 1529. Now the Rajput threat was over. Babur has to face the Afghan powers on the bank of Ghagra. So Babur, no doubt, their army defeated the Afghans also, and therefore they took the empire from the Afghans. But he died in 1530. Babur died in 1530, and his son Humayun, he came into the force, or he became the king. Now there are certain Babur's achievements. Babur, he was a brave general, and he was a great military genius also. And though he was an orthodox Sunni Muslim, but he was not a fanatic. Means he was not extremely believing on the religious ideas. He never allowed the ulamas to influence his decisions. He was a gifted poet also, and author also, and he loved music, and he used to play polo. Then he also appreciated nature. He built many gardens and planted many trees, orchards, etc. Some of the gardens in Agra, Dholpur, Sikri, etc. His autobiography, Tughlaq Babri, also known as the Baburnama, it is regarded as an excellent literary work. It is written in the Turkish language. Then a new form of warfare, a kind of a war where artilleries and cavalry were used together in the war. It was introduced by Babur. It is he who, by his brave and wisdom, laid the foundation of the Mughal Empire in India. So these were some of the achievements of the Babur. So from the Humayun, you already got the video. Okay, thank you, students.